Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make savory oven pancakes, and this is what it looks like. When this pancake bakes, it puffs really high and the outside crust becomes golden brown and crisp. Yet in the center it's really soft and tender. And when it comes out of the oven, what I like to do is put a couple slices of cooked bacon and an egg on top. If you want to go vegetarian, what you could do is saute some vegetables and then put that and then an egg on top. So this recipe makes 2 pancakes. So if you want to make 4, just double the recipe. Now, we will need for our pancakes 2 5-inch, which is 12.5 centimeter cast iron skillets like this. Now the important thing when you, before you put the pancake batter into the skillets, you want them really hot. And that way they're gonna really puff up and turn that wonderful golden brown crisp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my cast iron skillets in the oven while it's preheating. And that way it's gonna get really hot. Typically it takes, 10 to 15 minutes to preheat your oven. So that's about enough time for these to get hot. So we want a hot oven, 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 220 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put that in there and heat it up. And then when we come back, we will make our pancake batter. So our oven is up to temperature, so we're going to start making our pancake batter. Now you can make your batter in a food processor like I'm doing. You could use a blender, you could use just a hand mixer or a wire whisk in a bowl. So the first thing you will need is 3 large eggs. Have your eggs at room temperature, and 3 large eggs out of the shell is 150 grams. And then you will need a half a cup, 120 milliliters, 120 grams of milk. Have your milk at room temperature. Now you can use like a whole milk, or you could even use a reduced fat. I'm using a 2% actually. And then you will need 1 tablespoon of melted butter. That's 13 grams, just for a little richness. And then you will need a half a cup, 65 grams of all-purpose flour. You may know that as plain flour. And then I'm going to add just a quarter of a teaspoon, 1 gram of salt, and a quarter of a teaspoon, 1 gram of pepper. If you don't want pepper, you can just leave that out. And then just a little bit of sweetness, 1 teaspoon, 5 grams of granulated white sugar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and while that's processing and blending all together, what I'm going to do is go over and put a half a tablespoon, which is about 7 grams of butter in each of the skillets, and that's going to melt, and that way when we put our pancake batter in, it won't stick to the bottom of our skillet. So I'll turn that on and that's done. Now I'm going to go back, and the butter should be melted. It doesn't take long in those hot skillets. So there we go. Swirl that around. Okay, be very careful with those. Really hot. So now I'm just going to transfer my batter to this, like a measuring cup. Makes it much easier to pour it in. And just evenly divide it. Or as best as you can. That looks good. And then what I like to do, this is totally optional, I like to put a little chopped chives, since it is a savory. You could use green onions or leave it off altogether. And then a little grated cheese. I'm using Gruyere. You could use a cheddar, Parmesan. Just really adds, the chives and the cheese, I think, adds a nice flavor to our savory pancakes. Okay, there's a little more cheese on this one. Okay, so now what we're going to do, everyone's oven is a little different, but we're going to bake them, I would say about 15, 16 minutes. And do not open your oven door for most of that time. We don't want our pancakes to deflate. So what they're going to do is puff way up. The outside is going to become wonderfully golden brown and crisp, yet the center of the pancakes will still be soft and tender. So I'm going to say, you know, about 16 minutes. So while our pancakes are baking, I'm going to make our bacon and eggs. Now, I'm doing mine on an electric griddle. You could just do it in a frying pan on your stovetop. Now, I'll just put a little butter down here for the eggs. Makes them taste better. And you can do, you know, 1 or 2 eggs per person, depending on how hungry your guests are. But I'm just going to do 1 today for each of us. Come on. There we go. And I like a little salt and pepper. And then I'm going to put some bacon on. Okay. Our oven pancakes are done. Don't they look gorgeous? Now, a few things. You want to serve them while they're still hot. Some people like to actually serve them right in the skillets. You could do that, but I would get these silicone handles that you just kind of put on the end like that, and then I would have a cloth down and put like that. But personally, I don't like to do that. I like to just take them out because those skillets are so hot and I don't want to risk somebody burning themselves. So I just take them right out and put them on the plate. I just think these are so cool looking. Whoop. There we go. And as you can see, they kind of rise and then there's like a cavity in the center, which is just perfect for our bacon and eggs. So, put your bacon down, as many pieces as you want. And also, if you have vegetarians, what you can do is not have the bacon. And what I do is I saute usually some onions or some shallots with some mushrooms and maybe some peppers and butternut squash, whatever you have. And then maybe even some spinach and kale. And then I put that down instead of the bacon. Or you could have that and the bacon, which I've done too. And then just put your egg, like I said, 1 or 2. I did mine easy over. You can have them sunny side up. And then, of course, if you have a pancake, I like to have maple syrup. And also, if you don't even, you just want to eat the pancake without the bacon, the eggs, or the vegetables, that's fine too. I mean, it's really good just with some maple syrup or butter. But, put that. This is such, I mean, breakfast, brunch, even supper. I mean, people just love it. Okay, I'm going to have some. I love, the outside edge is wonderfully crispy, but I don't know whether you can see, the center of the pancake is so soft and so tender. I'm just going to dip it right in maple syrup. Oh. Like I said, that outside is so crisp, and then yet when you bite through, inside it is so tender. And I really like that chives and the grated cheese. I think it just adds a really nice flavor. But if you wanted to just have like a pancake with, say, your maple syrup, you could just leave that off. Whichever, do whatever you want. And like I said, you could double this recipe for 4 people. Really, you have to try this. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com.